Hello everyone and welcome back to the collapse. So, in the last episode, near the end, we got impeached. I turned around and lost the presidential seat or whatever. So yeah, now I have to deal with that. And I'm pissed about it. I want my power back at some point in time. But I'm going to go a little bit slower with this. I am going to try and gain a little bit more support in the different regions, especially in the South. I already have a pretty solid amount of support in the northern region and in the the eastern region. So now it's just about building up the support throughout the rest of the country and possibly passing some undemocratic laws as well. So let's see if we can turn around and do anything in the meantime, shall we? And also, I can also use the Ministry of Internal Affairs in order to kind of help me out, and the Mafia as well. So, I've actually I don't know what this actually does. Let me see. Racket, protection, legal bandits. How else can we stop all this chaos except by leading it? Crime is ineradicable, and under our careful control, it will become more human. And the bandits themselves will put things in order in the streets. Let me see. So what does that do? Illegal actions less than. Influence within the organ. I can get money plus 100. Operability minus 5. And let me see, corruption will be plus 1. Interesting. And let's see, by putting pressure on a couple of judges and jurors and bribing several others, we will achieve the closure of some cases open against members of our party. Okay, so I can deal with some of my illegal actions there. Let me see, by focusing on anti-terrorist operations, we will certainly enhance the security of our citizens and our country. I'm guessing that means attack the RAF and stuff like that. Fight. Racket, protection, legal bandits only, their complete destruction and replacement by the militia will ensure order, stability. Oh, okay, so in this case, I can completely get rid of the Mafia. I don't think I'm gonna do that, actually, because the Mafia is one of the organizations that I turned around and befriended, so they're solidly in my camp. Relations are at a 64 right now, so yeah, I think I'll go ahead and stick with them for right now. So they have the the presidency, but well, I guess they can't do anything, so I guess it hasn't really changed anything. So yeah, I don't really know what the effect of actually getting impeached has really done to me. It hasn't given me a game over or anything like that, so there's that. But I can turn around and use the Ministry of Internal Affairs to do things. Let's see. I think first I'll go ahead and dig up some dirt. And I'll definitely attack the Communist Party in this case. Let's expose the Communist leader. The Republic will be ours. We will fulfill and overfulfill the task of the party. Alright? Recently, sensational facts related to the deputies from the Communist Party began to appear in the media. Unknown informants, apparently close to the Ministry of Internal Affairs, report large-scale frauds in the Communist Party, which consist in laundering of party funds through offshore foreign companies. However, now this will not surprise anyone. But what can be surprising is about the details of the Communist Party leader's life. The same informants report that the leader of the Communist Party was involved in ties with NOTK. Of course, there is no confirmation of this. In total, about 17 members of the Communist Party became victims of the scandal. So, if they had any power, they definitely lost it now. So, okay. So that's gonna hurt them quite a bit. Yeah, they basically don't have any support in the entire country. So now I just have to deal with the Blue Guard, and I have to deal with the Conservatives more than likely. Yeah, we have a pretty strong hold on just about everything. I think I'm going to attack the Blue Guard. They look like they're going to be the biggest problem going into the next elections and such. Let's see. So, Blue Guard, you get a rally. Everybody gets a rally. Okay, so that'll work there. And let's see what I can do as far as a department goes. Internal Affairs. Still really high. I still got plenty of money. Oh yeah, legal actions. Okay, so there's that thing. I guess. Well, I'll wait until I get some more money, and then I'll turn around and use the money in order to fund this little mafia no, I'll use the money to turn around and get rid of one of my party members, and then boost my party support back up. Let's see. What else can I do here? Could do dirt again. Then let's go after the blue guard. Alright, and the same thing there. Let's see. Let me see. Laundering of party funds to offshore companies. What is he doing in his spare time? The same informants report that the leader of the Blue Guard was spotted in an adult store with his wife, who is the head of a local children's organization. Oof. Yeah, that's definitely not gonna look good on you, sir. Alright, let's advance time a little bit and go on ahead to the next month so we can get a little bit of party budget there. From March 1993 to July 1995, the city of Srebrenica is actually under siege, surrounded by troops of the Republika Srpska. The plight did not improve when, in April 1993, the UN Security Council declared Srebrenica a security zone free from all sorts of hostilities and deployed 600 Dutch peacekeepers armed with small arms. In early July 1995, the troops of the Republika Srpska drove the Muslims out of the enclave and seized the security zone. Further, according to the version of Western media, the army of the Bosnian Serbs under the command of Ratko Mladic approached the city, evacuating Muslim women, children, and the elderly from there, and then the military shot the remaining 8,000 local residents. Jesus Christ. Okay. Shit show. Alright, the BEG is still dealing with rallies. They've lost some support. They've lost a little bit of support. Not a whole lot. Still enough to be problematic for them. They don't have any support in these two regions. And then over here, they're losing a lot of support. Still have a pretty nice hold on the capital, and they still have a pretty nice amount of support in the west. But I'll deal with that soon enough. All these bastards are gonna pay. Okay, so that would do, I think it's minus 50 to turn around and deal with the issues in the party. Yeah, it's minus 50. I think, well, with 2, I think that might turn around and do enough. So let's exclude a person and let's drop some money in that bank. Okay, so not bad. It's not too bad right now. Ministry of Defense is still a shit show. Let me steal some more money here. Okay. And let me come back over here. Yeah, let me just go ahead and exclude somebody. That should deal with all of my legal actions. Or it doesn't. Okay, so let me go ahead. Throw some more money in there. Exclude one more person, and then go ahead and boost this all the way up. Okay. Now I could turn around and just attack or start a coup, and that would go ahead and cause a lot of trouble. But I don't know who's technically considered number 2 right now. So I don't know what the structure of government is. So, I mean, I'm assuming with me being impeached, I'm not anywhere near the presidency. So I couldn't turn around and just, you know, have a coup and then get the power right back. I'm pretty sure it doesn't work like that. Even still, though. Let's see, ruler or second in person. Yeah, I can't do that because no longer president. Bunch of jerks. What have they done? They have pulled... Oh, okay, so they haven't really done anything as far as the different things in the CISFTA. So, okay. Internal affairs. What shall we do? Sure, let's do that. And what else? So that's going to give me plus 100. Is that right? That's going to give me plus 100. Yeah. Let's not worry about that. Legal bandits, the courts. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. I'll leave the rest of this alone for the meantime. And I guess I'll go ahead and try and mess with the wing of the party a little bit. All right, let's advance this forward. Okay. What we got here? So they still have a lot of support there. Really need to work on that. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and just start skipping ahead until the next major event happens. So see you in a little bit. All right, I want to make a quick note about something, however. I'm going ahead and I'm trying to pass some laws. I wanted to go ahead and pass the, what was it? The election law, the electoral system. So I'm going to pass the Carbo law, and that'll give me 66% of the vote if I win a majority in the next election. So I'm going to go ahead and I've packaged this with a few other things. For instance, the gun carrying law will now be non-lethal under license. And I think there was a few other things. I can't remember what all it was. I couldn't turn around and change the election threshold barrier. So there's that. But yeah, I packaged a few things in there, so that should give me enough support to pass it. So, yep, and it passed. So in the next election, I can turn around, and if I win the majority of the vote, then I will get 66% of the vote. Yeah, the party that wins first place in the election and at least 25% of the valid votes will receive 66% of the seats in the parliament. So, yeah, that's gonna cause a lot of problems because, yeah, that's just gonna be a shit show and a half. But, and I want to try and pass that threshold because if I can pass the percentage barrier, that's gonna be quite nice. That effectively means I can just wipe out several of these parties. I don't know what I could possibly pair that with, though. Let me see. Dissatisfied with the policies of the Supreme Soviet, the people came to protest. So yeah, now we have protests in there. I could disperse the strikers. However, I'm no longer president, so I'm gonna send provocateurs instead. So rallies continue to grow. From the latest news, provocateurs were also noticed at the protests calling for attacks on militia patrols, which caused a natural rebuff from the government services and a brutal suppression of protests. So yeah, now the president has a bit of problems on his hands now. So the communist bastard that took it from me. Right, so we still have a lot of support, so I'm gonna go ahead and try and see if I can call the other parties to have an election. Let's see if we can do it. Let me see. The protests that took place in the capital last month have ended. The protesters failed to get their way, and the bills passed a few weeks ago were not canceled. So, okay, nice. Oh, okay. I just gotta wait for it to come up. And yep, everybody pretty much agreed with it. Political sensation. SRP called on the parties of the Supreme Council to protest for holding early parliamentary elections. Parliamentary factions responded to the call of the SRP as follows. The Blue Guard joined, the Conservative Party joined, the Liberal Party decided not to, the Social Democrats decided to join, of course we joined, the PNP didn't join, and the Communist Party did not join. So, of course, because they're in power. As a result, several hundreds of thousands of people gathered at the protests of the United Opposition, supporting the parties that came out for new parliamentary elections. The government had to make concessions and appoint new elections, which should take place in 3 months. So there we go. We now have an election that's about to come up, and the opposition is pretty fucked because I have a lot of support across the board, and I just have to win 25% of the vote. That's all. And I have more than that, far more than that. So I'm gonna go ahead and advance it a little bit so I can get some party budget there. Oh, okay, these bastards. No, bribe. Sure. Okay. Bribe some people in my party that was pissed with me. Yeah, I'll just let this advance a little bit. Try and get some party budget. Don't really need to do anything. I guess I could turn around and cook the votes a little bit. So let me see. Yeah, I'm going to use administration resources to buff up that vote just a little bit in all the regions. Again, really don't need it, but hey, why not? So, and okay, that leaves me with not that much money. And I think if the Ministry of Economy, yes, you still have quite a bit of budget. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and take whatever is left because I'm not going to have this place in a little bit. I'm going to let somebody else have it and they can do whatever they want with that corruption. I have screw it. I can't deal with that anymore. Let's see. So that gives me a budget of 70. Let me do some rallies as well. I think the PNP is the biggest problem that I have right now. Oh, great. That's the Communist Party. Wonderful. Let's see. But yeah, I think we have enough support to actually take every single region, possibly even this one. This might be the only region that might be a squeaker, but I should be able to turn around and pull it out in the end. Let's see. Perhaps I can do some charity work or something and kind of boost those stats. Actually, let me use the Internal Affairs Department and dish out some dirt. Do it for the national populace. Alright, that should hurt them enough so where we should be able to squeak by. And I guess I'll donate the rest to like charity and stuff, so kind of boost my stats up a little bit. Alright, let's keep on moving forward. Today, the President of the Republic made an official statement on the country's further participation in the structures of the Eurasian Union. The EAEC completely failed as a union designed for regional integration. Starting today, the Republic will no longer participate in the Organization of Eurasian Community and will leave all its structures, said the leader of the country at a press conference. Great, you're just fucking up everything that I've done. Jesus. I worked so hard to do all that stuff. I mean, I didn't, but still. I wonder if I could pass that. If I could just pass this percentage barrier. Jesus Christ. What does everyone want in order to have that? Social benefits, small. That's not enough, okay? That's not enough. What about a VAT? What about low? No VAT. Don't like that either, okay? Utilities. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna have to do the percentage barrier on my own time. Which won't be a problem because again, I can pass it fairly easily with my own support. So after the election, of course. After the election. Oh yeah, I'll just wait until after the election and then I'll pass it. And completely screw the communists, because that's basically mean the Communist Party is gone. The next parliamentary election should be held very soon, so this is just about the speech. I guess I could still focus on growing the welfare of people in this country, the poor people in this country. Let's go. Okay. So let's see. Of course, we won in the end, and we won every single region. All right. So let's see. The Blue Guard got 9%. The Conservative Republican Party got 9%. The Liberal Republican Party got 7%. The Social Democratic Republican Party got 2%. We got 66%. The National People's Party got 7%. And the bastards of the Communist Party got 0%. Jerks. All right. So there are no communists left in the country. That's what they get. Okay. So that puts us in a very healthy position. I gotta make sure I get the Prime Minister's office. Let me get the internal affairs as well. Honestly, that's kind of all I want. Because Defense Department is a shit show right now. I'm not even sure about the rest. I guess I could get foreign affairs or industry or something like that. But I think I'll just skip out on the rest. So, all right. So let's get foreign affairs. And what else? What else could I get? Because I want to keep it around 3. I don't want to do any more than that. It's a pain kind of managing just 3. Well, managing more than 1 actually, but yeah, I think I'll let everybody else have the rest because this is a lot. This is a lot in and of itself. So I'll just end it. Y'all can have the rest. And Jesus Christ, y'all do not have the funding to deal with this. The government is going to be in shambles. It's going to be in utter shambles. Look at this. They don't have any money to fund anything. How? Okay, so let's go ahead and completely fund the Prime Minister's office. Completely fund foreign affairs. I mean, internal affairs and foreign affairs. Okay, so I will bump the Prime Minister's office. Well, no, I'll bump the internal affairs up to plus 1,000 because I kind of need them to have more than they have due to the corruption. I'm gonna have to focus a lot on corruption. I'll push this to, if I do 600, I'll push this to 800. And I will push this to 1,000. Right? And you can have the rest. So yeah. These other departments are criminally underfunded. And I wonder why that happened. I'm assuming that happened because either they're just not generating enough money on their own, or it happened because I just won so much of the vote. So, all right. Of course, everyone's going to be happy with my departments. It's for everyone else that they're really going to be screwed. So, and let's see if we go over here to the ministries. There's no corruption basically in foreign affairs, so that's good. I'm gonna change a lot of this stuff so that way we can actually focus on corruption. Let's see. Yeah, that's +1 corruption. Jesus. That's plus corruption. Yeah, let's go ahead and cut that on. That's -1 corruption. That's -0.5. +1. That's +1. And let's focus on anti-terror stuff as well. So that could help. Alright, so yeah, that'll go ahead and kind of go after the kind of building up corruption that's going on here. And as far as the rest, foreign affairs, I don't have to worry about you. Sell your vote at the UN for transferring money to an offshore account. Huh. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Okay. I'll just focus on updating and raising. Let's see, what else can we do? Allow the use of the territory of diplomatic services for commercial activities in a duty-free zone. Sure. Also, let's go from the RF to the USA. And oh, well, yeah, let's do Vector. Yeah, let's do Vector and kind of profit off both of them. So, since we already have a lot of Russian support, I guess it makes no sense to go ahead and piss them off, but the Ministry of Defense has 0 corruption. You can thank me for that. The Ministry of Economics has 82 corruption. I had nothing to do with that. Let's see. What else? Ministry of Education, 48. And I have public relations. It's not bad. So, shockingly. But, and do I have any negative modifiers? I'm pretty sure all of the ones for the underfunded department. So, yeah, that's a pain in the neck there. But other than that, you know. But I'm still not sure exactly who that affects. Like, does that affect my party or does that affect the individual parties? So, the planned Congress of the SRP took place today, which is to nominate a candidate for the presidential and prime minister post. Unexpectedly for everyone, the Congress elected as president ardent patriot fighter fighter against everything Western and Eastern, nationalist and doctor of historical sciences, self-proclaimed, who defended his dissertation on the topic, the concept of the emergence of the first Republican state, from the Kiev Republic to the first Republican state, and as Prime Minister, a charismatic political leader known for his eccentric speeches in Parliament. Among his promises are to annex Belarus to the Republic, establish a Republican nation state, a commercial brand, and restore the Soviet Union with its capital in the capital. I wonder what this will mean for the Republic. Yeah, that's a very good question. I don't know what any of that means, and it actually kind of worries me just a slight bit. Okay. So I don't think I'm going to do any national projects. I guess I could do something here. I don't know if I really want to do that either. That will cost 500 from the internal affairs budget, which is, let's see, ministries, where art thou? Okay, ministries, internal affairs, 1400, so that'll put me at 900. I might hold, yeah, I think I'll hold off on that because I want to knock this corruption down, and I don't know how much money that's going to cost. Also, that reminds me, on the previous Thursday, when leaving the territory of the Western Republican Customs, law enforcement officers seized 200,000 Roni mobile phones, that's supposed to be Sony, intended for Republic Net. Yesterday, it was reported that employees of the Western Republican State Unitary Enterprise, Parirabatka, had begun the destruction of these mobile phones the day before. Republic Net immediately announced that these phones were brought to the Republic in compliance with all the rules of the law, but the regulatory authorities first declared the products to be contraband, and a few days later, counterfeit, fake. After providing Republic Net with all supporting documents, the phones were labeled as harmful to the health of consumers. Republic Net, in turn, accuses the Brown Mafia of bribing customs officers in an attempt to raid or takeover of the company. Well, they are my allies, so I'm gonna help the Republic Mafia take it over. Today, the well-known Republican millionaire Zoiko Borisov signed an agreement on the purchase of 100% of the shares of the founders of the Republic Net for $1. The CEO of Republic Net resigned from the post of the CEO of the company and hastily fled to London, from where he accused the government of Republica of raider seizure of the company in the interests of the mafia. I mean, maybe that might have been a thing, you know, but it was an offer I couldn't refuse. So, I mean, I don't know what you really wanted me to do there, buddy. All right, so shadiness aside, what can we do? Diplomacy. Let's do diplomacy since Jesus just screwed up all my relations. Okay. I actually don't think I had anything with CISFTA, so I'm guessing all these are gonna remain. Yeah, I still have the partnerships and stuff. Okay, so nothing crazy is going on over here thus far. That's if I want to pull out of the organizations, which I don't. Let's see. And the RF, I will leave those there. I don't really see a point in not doing it for right now. Russia's happy, the United States is happy, so I'm happy. What else? We should join the Shanghai Five to reduce the influence of the West. This will help balance our foreign policy. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, actually, sure, let's go with that. We should significantly restrict the entry of our labor migrants into Russia, which will reduce our influence from the Russian government, but will hit the earnings of our citizens. Don't know about that one. If we force in the meeting, we can exchange help from our partners for money, increasing the progress of the country, of the current scientific... Oh, okay, so they have a thing too. Interesting. All right. Currency. We should agree with Russia on the implementation of trade only in the national currency. It would upset the West, but it will strengthen our currency. Okay. We're loyal friends and partners of Russia. Isn't it time for us to get cheap gas as friends and comrades? I don't know about that. CTO, the Joint Counter-Terrorist Operation, should weaken not only the sales of terrorism in our country, but also reduce the drug trade and black market. Sure. Let's do that. Okay. We're at 75 with them. What group was that? Oh, okay. All right. We should place full control over the maintenance of cultural sites. Okay, sure. That'll give us some money. We are true friends and partners of America. Isn't it time in response to our trust to get their trust in the state of our economy? Sure. And let's... Well, if I do that, will that turn around and probably take away some support from the United States? Sure, let's join the IMF. And I think that's pretty much all we'll do for right now. Yeah, let's just go ahead and leave it at that for right now. And I'll let this kind of build back up over time, but that should really help our economy. So, Madam Chairwoman, I am very glad to see you today. I'm Joe McDick, okay, from the U.S. Department of the State. Today is a sunny day, isn't it? So, to the point. Mr. President instructed me to convey to you the demand of the United States. Yes, you may be outraged by our interference in your sovereign affairs. Well, the word is ridiculous. You must agree. But nevertheless, in order to maintain good relations with such a great power as the United States, sometimes sacrifices must be made. Allocating Prime Minister's administration from the 120 budget would be sufficient. What? What? Allocating Prime Minister's administration from... So what is that, 120 administration? Sure, I guess. Whatever. Very good, Madam Chairwoman. The President will be pleased with your action. I will report to him immediately. Okay. An important political event about which all pro-Russian media have been trumpeting for a week. The photo of the Republican ambassador to the United States from the Oval Office, where the talks with the President of the United States took place, became the topic of the day. The diplomat could not sit down as an equal with the President of the United States, which some political analysts considered as an act of vassal suzerainty between our capital and Washington. They criticized the diplomatic etiquette of the United States. The president sat in a wide leather armchair, while the Republican diplomat sat on a small chair that was clearly too small for him. Looking at this picture from the outside, one might get the impression that Big Daddy is scolding the naughty child. Okay. Not sure what happened there, but alright. But we still have good relations with the United States and Russia. Let me see. Ineffective politics and corruption in the Ministry of Education have caused another political scandal. Okay, so now other people are aiming for the Ministry of Education. I don't want it. So please don't give it to me. Please don't give it to me. I don't. Son of a bitch. Great. And I think that's pretty much going to happen for every single department. So, speaking of which, how is my ministry looking? Because that makes me worried. Oh, okay. Our ministry is doing fine. It's doing perfect. Prime Minister, yep, doing great. Ain't got a thing to worry about. Let's raise and update, and hopefully that'll kind of work on the operability there. Foreign Affairs, yep, doing good too, so I don't have to worry about it. Ministry of Defense is doing well, which I'm actually glad about. I don't know what happened when I had it, but, you know, it's good that it's doing good. Let me see. Economics is doing fine. Social Development is doing fine. What is this? Ministry of Transport is doing fine. Yeah, most of them are doing okay, except for the Ministry of Education that I just got a hold of. God damn it. Okay. Let's invest. What can we do here? I'm gonna leave it alone and see if it actually generates anything on its own. I hope it does. Let's see. I don't want to get into this having to steal from one department in order to feed into this one. Let's see. Industry is not doing so hot. Public relations is turning into a shit show. Foreign investments is turning into a shit show. Business committee, shit show. Constitutional commission, shit show. So yeah. Not great for everybody else, but I'm doing fine, and that's all that matters at the end of the day. Also, laws. I just thought about that. Let's go. Absent. I didn't even do anything to y'all this time around, but yeah, absent. Let's see. Percentage barrier. Let's go ahead and drop that percentage barrier to 10%. All right. Ironically enough, the upper class, the upper class and the lower class actually likes this. I should be able to pass it on my own. It shouldn't require anything, but to be on the safe side, let's try and bribe somebody. Can we bribe somebody? Bribe to you all. Put forward. And it passed. It wasn't even a problem, so yeah. So, yeah, in the next election that we have, which will be in the year 2000, then if, unless early elections are called, if there's another situation where, oh, that's right, I can't be impeached because I have the prime minister's office, so screw 'em. But yeah, unless something happens, I should be able to stay in power, and I actually should be able to completely take over the country and just have a one-party state. So, not that I was trying to do that or anything, hint, hint, wink, wink, but let's move time forward. And I'll go ahead and skip to the next event, whatever event that will be. So, see ya. All right, so now we're at our next event here, and I think this deals with Russia again. Of course, lots of problems going on there. Let's see, recently, the first post-Soviet presidential election took place in Russia, in which in the first round, two candidates were in the lead. Incumbent President Boris Yeltsin and Communist Party leader Gennady Zyuganov. As a result of the election, Yeltsin received 40.2 million votes, 53%, and Zyuganov received 40% of the vote. The outcome of the election in the second round was decided by 14.52 of the votes that Alexander Lebed gave to Boris Yeltsin in exchange for the post of Secretary of the Security Council of the Russian Federation. Some skeptics cast doubt on the results of the vote, pointing to massive fraud like the case of the Xerox box, but foreign observers call the elections fair and free. What awaits Russia in the next 4 years? Mystery covered in darkness. So we can take a stance on this. Let's see. Send party greetings to Boris Yeltsin. Send a formal greeting. Raise a toast to the victory of Boris Nikolaevich. Ignore the event. Accuse the government of the Russian of rigging the elections. We'll just send a formal greeting. All right, the leader of the Republic congratulated Boris Yeltsin on his victory and wished him a successful recovery after the operation. All right, and that's the end of that. So that gave us a little boost when it came to Russian support, but nothing too crazy there, so nothing too major. And I will keep going on forward. So see you in a little bit. Literally 2 seconds later, Madam Chairwoman, I'm Jeb Haldwin, European Union diplomat. Why do you look like, what's that guy? Can't remember that guy's name. You like Steve, what is his name? The Bolton guy. John Bolton. Yeah, he used to work for Trump. Madam Chairwoman, I'm Jeb Haldwin, European Union diplomat. Let's not dwell on these senseless formalities and get down to business right away. As you understand, the European Union is a very, very prestigious institution, and such crooks and savages as the republics are not welcome there, Jesus. However, we can reconsider our opinion about you. Yes, we remember our words about the priority of human rights and the equality of nations, but when it comes to politics, what rights can we talk about at all? Generally, give us Prime Minister's administration from 455 and we're even. So I'm guessing that means 455 of our budget there. Let's see. Premier administration budget minus 15%. Ministry of Internal Affairs budget minus 15. Okay, all right. I don't have a problem with that because, I do have. Yeah, I do have the budget, so sure. Great, Madam Chairwoman. Everything went at the highest level. The chairman will be pleased. Okay. Now, what does that mean exactly, though? Okay, as you can see, it barely even did a dent into the ridiculous size of the budget that I have now. But all right. And I think I will just go ahead and keep on going forward. So if there's anything that happens, I will let you know. Okay, it's been a while, but I have another event now. Let's see. In Belarus, the contradiction between the president and parliament escalated, and the country entered the next period of the political crisis. Recently, Alexander Lukashenko proposed holding a referendum on introducing amendments and additions to the constitution, significantly expanding the rights of the president and transforming the republic from a parliamentary presidential into a presidential. Supreme Council, in turn, also raised the issue of amending the Constitution, turning the Republic into a purely parliamentary, that is, the abolition of the presidency, and a number of other issues. According to the results of the votes, the vast majority of the population voted for the adoption of presidential initiatives, while the Supreme Council was dissolved and transformed into a bicameral parliament. A number of states and international bodies, including the OSCE, the Council of Europe, and the European Union, have not officially recognized the results of the referendum and declared them illegal because the referendum was held with serious procedural violations. Let me see. Oof. I probably should just stay out of this situation because, I mean, if I take off Russia, I'm already kind of in a pickle with them right now. And if I take off the United States, I don't want to get into a pickle with them right now. So, I'm just gonna stay out of it. Yeah. Okay, they gave me some support with the United States. And as far as Russia goes, they didn't like it too much. But oh well, they'll get over it. So yeah, that didn't hurt me too bad. Also, I've been working down here. I'm trying to build up the loyalty of this region. So I don't know what I'm actually do with them. I might go ahead and try and start a referendum. But if not, I might go ahead and just invade them and see if that'll turn around and work. I've tried doing this before in some other playthroughs that I've had when I built up the military and stuff like that, and I lost dramatically. I don't even know how, but I did lose. So I kind of wonder if I do join the United, well, if I work with the different factions, the United States and Russia, and give them access to bases and do drills and stuff like that, will that actually help me out? Not sure, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But yeah, I've been feeding money into them, trying to get that loyalty of the region up so I can hopefully reach an agreement with them or do a referendum and they can rejoin us. And I'm hoping that'll kind of help us out economically. Also, once again, in these stories of I have no idea what the fuck is going on, the budget in the ministries were fine. I have not done anything to them. Operability has turned into a shit show. Don't know how, but that happened. I didn't do anything. I just literally left it like that. Let me see. Internal affairs, same thing. Haven't done anything, but the operability just started dropping for whatever reason. Don't know why. Just happened. And foreign affairs has been, I think it's pretty much been, no, it's been dropping also. So yeah, I don't know why that happens. I'm assuming it's because the budget is too high. I'm not sure. I'm not a programmer, so I couldn't tell you. And I've been working on trying to get the Ministry of Education's budget up and the operability up, so that way I can kind of go ahead and do some of these reforms and stuff like that. It's kind of hard keeping the corruption down. It's been okay. It's not been too bad so far, but yeah, like I said, I don't know what's going on with these three departments. They were completely fine and now they're not. So they have plenty of budget, and I'm guessing that maybe it's too much budget or something. Maybe it's, like I said, I don't know if it's a programming issue or if that's just an actual thing. But yeah, the operability has went to the shitter. And once again, I can't do anything about that because there's nothing to do about that. So that's probably going to be something that's going to bite me in the ass at some point, but I'll cross that bridge when I get there. Anywho, let's go ahead and advance a little bit further. All right, so we have our next event going on, and this time it's dealing with the People's Democratic region. According to separate authorities of the People's Democratic region, elections are about to take place in the rioting region. Despite the categorical rejection of the legitimacy of the regime established in the PDR, candidates for three parties are represented in the parliamentary elections: the Separatist Party, the Moderate Party, and the Loyalist Party. Of course, the program of each of them needs no introduction. Nevertheless, now when the most severe economic crisis has occurred in the PDR due to the sanctions of the Republic, the political pendulum is ready to sway in the opposite direction. However, it isn't yet clear who will take power in the region. Now, I have bumped up that support quite a bit. I don't know if it's actually enough to turn around and actually overthrow the government down there, but I'm going to turn around and interfere in their vote, so maybe that'll help. Maybe? Following the election results in the PDR, the Moderate Party became the absolute leader in the vote, despite the fact that, as some journalists report, the elections were held with some serious irregularities. The Central Election Commission of the PDR recognized them held. Okay, so that didn't help me at all. Okay, but they still got 41% right now, so I might be able to stir up some unrest and then eventually get that to a point to where I can actually overthrow this little bastard down here and get them back, but we'll see how it goes. Anywho, more skipping. Well, we have a lovely incident over here. So apparently the mayor of the western region was assassinated. Today, on the side of the forest belt, the personal car of the mayor of the western region was found, in the trunk of which the lifeless body of its owner was found. As you know, the mayor of the western region went missing a week ago. The diligent searches and mobilization of the regional militia did not bring any results. However, this morning, fishermen heading to the river found a car and the terribly mutilated body of the region's mayor. It is difficult to say what could have caused such a brutal murder and who might need it, but a month before this event, the mayor of the western region publicly opposed the holding of a military parade in the region and also demanded that the Supreme Council reduce budgetary spending on weapons and the army. The Regional Council of the Western Region has appointed a candidate from the Conservatives as acting head of the region. Lovely. So, that's a thing. Now, of course, I can't do anything about that, so there's that. And due to the shit show of my ministry, it's just bellying up right now, I can't do anything about that. Yep. So, that's just a thing. So, yeah. Okay, in a shocking turn of events, the next mayor of the Western region has been assassinated again. So I don't know who was assassinating them this time. It says the Conservative Party, but that doesn't make any sense. So the Conservative Party assassinated their own mayor. Okay, I'm not sure. Let's see what happened. Let me see. Ineffective politics and corruption in the Ministry of Education have caused another political scandal. A number of deputies opposed SRP, which controls the... Oh, okay. So, sure. I didn't know the ministry was actually doing bad, but, sure, let it be. Alright, yeah, they can have it. Fine, whatever. Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there, but, yeah, I guess the mayor of the Western region was assassinated by their, the Conservative Party who controlled it. Okay, that's interesting. Alrighty. And yeah, they have the Ministry of Education now. They can have it. I don't really give two shits about it. I didn't really want it in the first place. I really wish these would get back in order, but that's probably not going to happen now. So, and I'm kind of leery about cutting these off because, I mean, it does help me out a bit, but hell, it's not working. So let's go ahead and cut this off. Let's cut that off too. I'll leave these two on. That's supposed to help operability. Go ahead and cut this off as well and see if that does anything. I doubt it, but you know, we'll see. Alright, more skipping. Alright, due to shenanigans that was going on in the meantime, I went ahead and managed to get the loyalty of the region up to 101%. So I'm going to see if I can actually go ahead and get them to kind of join back or something. So I'm going to ask for a referendum with them and let's see how this plays out. Hopefully it'll come up soon. Okay. The norms of international law that apply to all countries, with the exception of the United States, oblige us to solve internal political problems in the most democratic way possible. A long conflict with the People's Democratic Region is a fly in the ointment for the work of our government, so its successful and bloodless decision should raise the authority of the authorities in the eyes of citizens. But the question is brewing. Will the separatists cooperate with us? And in what ways can we influence the outcome of the vote? Oh, well, I can't do anything because I don't have any of these departments. So, sure, just advance, I guess. Alright, so I guess I'm just gonna have to wait because I don't have any of those departments. Interesting. Maybe I could stir up unrest? It went down. Well, I'll just keep it at 100 for right now. And I don't know what else I could do. Maybe reach an agreement and see what that does. Okay, during the dying agony of the Soviet Union, pro-Russian forces resisting the government of nationalists declared independence from the Republic, proclaiming the creation of the so-called People's Democratic Region. The contradictions between the government of the country and the separatists resulted in bloody clashes between the army and the militias, which ended in virtually nothing but the PDR becoming de facto independent. Now that the situation in the country has relatively stabilized, we can think about returning the industrially important region to the country. However, this is hardly possible to be done by force, so it's worth making contacts with the militias sitting down at the negotiating table. But what should the updated republic look like? Should we give unreliable citizens the right to autonomy, or limit themselves to the introduction of the state Russian language? And will they even agree to this step? There are more questions than answers to them. And I can't do anything about that because, let's see, less than half of the required funds in the industry budget. So yeah, I can't do anything with that. Okay. So that's a thing. What's going on in the Ministry of Industry? Well, they have 375 out of 350. Granted, I don't have the ministry, but still. Okay. And I don't have the Ministry of Defense, so I'm guessing if I were to invade them, that would probably turn into a shit show. However, let's try it for shits and giggles. The People's Democratic Region is a dirty separatist offspring terrorizing our southern borders. The rebel adventurers who overthrow the legitimate authority during the agony of the Soviet Union held an illegal referendum and proclaimed independence from the Republic. The local conflicts that broke out several years ago ended in nothing, and the government forces had to temporarily retreat. The PDR continued to exist without receiving any international recognition, but they completely refused to submit to the current government of the country. And all would be fine, but the strategically important heavy industry enterprises, which previously made up a significant part of the country's gross product, are located in this region. Now that we have gained strength, we can once and for all put an end to the hotbed of separatism. But how? The deployment of troops will clearly provoke retaliatory sanctions from Russia, since a large part of the population in the PDR is Russian, and besides, there are Russian volunteers. Should we take a risk? I'm guessing since I don't have the military, I can't do this either. Yep. Need the Ministry of Defense for that. So, wonderful. I swear, being president in this country is fucking useless. Alright, so I'll just go ahead and move it forward, and I guess I'll just wait until they have another referendum or something. Oh, they want money. Here, go away. Okay. Alright, so now we have another event. It's been a while. It's 1999 now. So let's see what we have here. Unknown, spreading in the Mediterranean region. Until now, the disease has claimed the lives of several people, having been transferred from areas of an Asian country to our republic. Several hundred have already been infected. The yellow press is sowing panic among the population, calling this infection the plague of the century. Scientists and doctors cannot give a definitive answer on this subject. However, the fact remains that the disease, which initially resembles an ordinary SARS, leads to a rapid death. Citizens await decisive and speedy government action. Well, since I don't have any of the ministries in that, we are the power. Okay. Call on citizens to stay calm and stop panic among the civilization. Among the people. I guess. Well, yeah, we had the Ministry of Social Development. We could do that. Bad relations with our partners. If we had portfolios of the Ministry of Communications, lovely. As president, I have access to none of this. Okay. All right, so let's just go ahead and I guess just do this. Keep calm. The government is in full control of the situation. Cases of infection are sporadic. Mortality is overstated. Let's see. We recommend that the citizens refrain from lengthy trips to other regions and visit public places less often, said the Minister of Internal Affairs of the Republic. It is difficult to believe this, given that the health workers' reports on new arrivals, although some suggest that the information is the government's lie. Okay, so there's that. So that's going to negatively affect us. I think I'm going to go ahead and try and get to the next election down here and see if I can impact this at all. And then I will go from there. Well, I think I'll just go ahead and end the video after that. So let's go ahead and go forward. For a long time, the agriculture of the southern region has been in a state of permanent ruin. The agro giant of Republic, which produced the gold of Republic, as agronomists put it, or rather spinach, has recently closed. Yes, not long ago, the Repub holes thundered throughout the Union, and now the acreage of the spinach has decreased by 4 times compared to 1991. The enterprise went bankrupt, and many workers lost their jobs. Economists believe that the government should decide the fate of the enterprise, which was not privatized. And I just have to ignore it. So there's that. The government does not comment on the proposal, blah, 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 blah. Okay. So, yeah, there's that. Anywho, more skipping. Alright, so now we have another situation in Venezuela. The unpopular measures of the Venezuelan government revive the economy over the past decade have led to a deep crisis and a decline in the standard of living of wide sections of the population. Against the background, the movement for the Fifth Republic, which is headed by Hugo Chavez, began to gain popularity. Chavez's oratory and reliance on the poor have brought him victory in the last election, and today he was inaugurated as president of the country. I swear before God and my people that under this dying constitution I will carry out the necessary democratic reforms so that the new republic has a Magna Carta suitable for the new times, Chavez said during the oath. It is difficult to say what the rule of Chavez will bring to Venezuela, but his bold ambitions for the socio-economic transformation of the country will quickly collide with the interests of Uncle Sam. So, sure, I'll say the revival of the revolutionary movement send congratulations. Today, the leader of the SRP congratulated Hugo Chavez on his election as the president of Venezuela. It is difficult to evaluate the contribution that Hugo Chavez made to the world revolutionary movement. Today, only a tough and uncompromising policy of consistent anti-imperialism can help Venezuela and other Latin American countries become truly sovereign states and not raw material appendages of the USA, the leader of the SRP noted in his congratulations to the elected leader of Venezuela. Okay, so there's that. Let me see. Citizens dissatisfied with the policy of the Supreme Soviet and the government tried to storm the Parliament building, but the troops of the Ministry of Internal Affairs who arrived in time were able to cordon off the rioters and successfully push them back from the central square. As a result of the operation, several people died and hundreds were arrested. Direct action failed. Protests that took place, they've ended. So yeah, we had some protests because the United States wanted a bill passed. It wasn't a good bill, and it ended up it undid all the election laws that I turned around and put in place, and I turned around and tried to go ahead and basically undo them, but I think it happened in the same turn. So when I did it, it basically looked like I never did the laws at all. So it ended up kind of just being a shit show all the way around. But anywho, I've turned around and repassed all those laws, and I put them right back in place. So guess everybody thought they were getting over. They weren't. Okay, according to the separate authorities of the People's Democratic Region, elections are about to take place in the rioting region. Okay, it's pretty much the same thing as we always have. Oof. This is a little difficult. I kind of want to save scum this, but I can't because I didn't save right before this. Well, shite. I mean, the loyalists have a lot of support, so I shouldn't have to turn around and do anything. I'm just gonna support the loyalists and see if that'll actually let them pull through. Following the election results in the PDR, the Loyalist Party became the absolute leader of the vote. Nice. Okay. Now that they've won, shouldn't that mean that I'm capable of... Yeah, let me just bribe you. Okay. Just off. Yeah, shouldn't that mean that I'm capable of getting that region back now? I would think. Let's try a referendum. But I guess I think the main thing was I couldn't do it because I didn't have any of the departments. So, yeah, I don't have the Ministry of Economy. Great. And I think the other one was pretty much the same thing. Yep, can't do anything. So I'll just have to wait until the next election and hopefully I can turn around and retain power. And if I retain power, then I can get the Ministry of Economy and the Ministry of Defense and all these other ministries that I'm going to need in order to pull this off. So, once again, you know, president has no power over these things, oddly enough. And we auction off departments, oddly enough. Anywho, skipping forward. All right, now we have a situation with NATO. NATO forces today launched a military operation against Yugoslavia, codenamed Allied Force. In the very first days of the operation, NATO forces tried to seize air supremacy by striking air defense and aviation in Yugoslavia. However, mainly purely civilian objects were bombed. Residential areas of Belgrade, schools, kindergartens, oil refineries. In the mid-1990s, there was an escalation of the violence against the Serb population in Kosovo. We remind you that in the early 1990s, the Kosovo Liberation Army was created, which in 1998 set a course for separating the province from Yugoslavia. Full-scale military clashes began after the NATO Council supporting the KLA announced the preparation of a military operation against Yugoslavia. Official Belgrade on October 15, 1998, signed a truce in Kosovo. However, attacks on the civilian Serb population continued, and in early 1999, the Yugoslav security forces were forced to resume fighting. How long Milosevic will hold out surrounded by enemies is unknown. Or humanitarian bombing. Jesus Christ. I mean, we're part of NATO. Well, we're part of the European Union. We're part of Europe. So, I don't like this, but I'll support the humanitarian bombing. Humanitarian bombing should force Milosevic to sit down at the negotiation table. A long and exhausting war took away enough lives, but the Balkan butcher needs only the slightest excuse to retain power in the country, was the comment of the SRP leader on the recent NATO invasion of Yugoslavia. Alright, as you can see, we have a ton of support as far as the middle class goes, but we lost a lot of support as far as the lower class goes. Don't know how that happened, as has been the case for a lot of this, but yeah, that was a thing. So, I guess I'll go ahead and start trying to put some money into the different regions now because elections are coming close. Let's see. What is this? CPRF. You're not an American puppet. Kiss my ass. Okay. So, now that I think about it, let me stop working with them because none of their laws have actually benefited me. So, oh, I'm not working with them. So they just kind of appeared for whatever reason. So yeah, I'll just work with the EU. That's who I should have been working with. Okay. Got 100% party support. don't need to do any more legal actions than we've already done. We've already unified the party. I did that in the spare time I had. We have a lot of support in different factions. I mean, I guess we could use some of this to promote, kind of unify certain things. Wait, what? Okay. I'll get our relations up with them. Okay. And what else do we have? Okay. Okay. All right. We're almost on our land. Let's see. Conspiracy. I'm president, so I don't want to overthrow myself. It's minus 50 influence. I don't think I should do that. There was something that they could do that I wanted them to do. I'm not seeing it. Maybe it's in the party section. Oh yeah, okay, so yeah, that's what I wanted them to do. But I need 50 connections. So let me recruit, connect. Then I need my party support back. We should sponsor. Oh yeah, we should sponsor action in one of our regions. It will hurt highly, but the people will be able to rally around the Republic regime for a while. So I want to do that. Piss off. Yeah, take that bribe and fuck off. So I'm gonna use this over here in this region because the conservatives have a lot of support for whatever reason. I don't know where the hell they came from, but they just got a lot of support randomly for some odd reason. And that's in the eastern region. So hopefully I can actually pick. Now that I think about it, I'm willing to bet that I probably won't be able to pick. But yeah. Okay. Then let's throw some money in the bank. Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to get to actually pick it. Okay. Alrighty then, so more skipping until the next election. Alright, so now we're in the year 2000, and we have some things that we can turn around and do in the meantime. Like, we can go ahead and come over here, and we can work on some of the new technologies that have sprung up. So what do we have? We have disk, network, smartphones, satellites, and cosmodrome. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and do the cosmodrome first. I do any of this? Oh, okay. And I'm gonna have to try and do something with the United States because, again, everything is a shit show with them right now. I'm just gonna pull out all the Russian stuff. So let's just do that. What else can we do? Can I just... I can't just turn that off. Yeah, I can't just turn any of it off. So there's that. And what else can I do? Sure, let's do Guam. I really need to try and build up support with the United States again. Oh, okay, yeah, I can do the laboratory thing. So I don't want to have too much of a dependency on them, but at the same time, I kind of need their help right now. So let's go ahead and just bump this all the way up. Get their relationship all the way up. Okay. And that's fine because the situation with Russia is just terrible. So I'll just go ahead and bump that all the way up. And then I'll come over here and then I'll start doing the whole working on trying to let's go ahead and get that credit rating. I won't do the CTO because that knocks it down by 25. Sure, we have poverty in our country, so there's that. And then let's go ahead and do the exchange program. We have plenty of administrative resources. So what of that bump the situation to factions research? That's 33. So we have the Cosmodrome. Let's go ahead with satellites. Let me see. Oh, great. Now they want something. How much do you want this time? 1,042. You know what? Here, you can have it. Sure. Whatever. And let's see. If I go to the ministries... Yeah, those ministries still have a ridiculous amount of money, so I don't have to worry about that. Probability is starting to go back up, which is nice. I don't know if I can increase that anymore before the election, but you know, it is what it is. But we have the Cosmodrome built, so there's that. There is no event for that. Okay. So let's go ahead and go on to the next one, which will be satellites. I'll go ahead and do that, and then I'll probably do network. Then just keep on going throughout the list. Okay. So let's see here. That's done. There's no event for that either. Oh, ineffective policies. Sure, I'll just pay some administrative resources and keep that. I do have a ridiculous amount of them. Then I will come back over here. I'm probably going to have the worst ending. Because while I'm going to have all the technology and everything, and, you know, the economy, I guess, is doing okay, even though I don't know what that poverty thing was about. But, yeah, it's probably not going to be great. Oh, and all the classes are pissed right now. So, there's that, too. Okay, back where I was. Okay, so I did satellites. Let's do network. And again, I don't have an event for that. I'm guessing the rest of them won't have an event. Maybe smartphones will have one, but yeah, kind of a bummer. Let's see, diplomacy, exchange. And let's go back over to factions, research. That's done. Let's go to discs. Okay, that one got one. Let's see. Step into the future. Quite recently, the internet itself seemed like some kind of unknown miracle, the peak of technology development. But now the era of wireless technologies has come. In many countries, Wi-Fi, a technology that allows you to literally transmit internet communications over the air, is becoming more and more popular, replacing inconvenient and bulky cables. However, some IT specialists see new technologies as disadvantages. For example, wireless networks can be used by cybercriminals to prepare terrorist attacks, especially in subways. However, it isn't yet clear how the government of Republic will counter potential terrorists. Let's see. I can strengthen anti-terrorism legislation, which is already ridiculously high. We don't have terrorist attacks. Let's see. Or I can tighten public transport security. I'll tighten public transport security. The government issued a decree on changing the public transport control system, according to which the rules for entering and exiting the metro became much stricter. For example, in addition to commonplace turnstiles, there are now scanners of metal objects. The number of security personnel has also increased. Some call this step useless and unnecessary, reproaching the government for tightening the screws. Okay, so we have that. Let's move on to the next thing of research, which was disk. Then we'll get smartphones after that. Let's go to diplomacy, come over here, exchange a little bit. That should be enough. Okay, so now we have discs. Okay. The video game entertainment industry is actively gaining momentum in the West, gradually getting in line with cinema and music. Computer games, in contrast to the forms of immersion in the created plots that existed before, give an invaluable gaming experience that attracts many people around the world. Today, we learned that a group of several people turned to the government with a rather interesting idea. They asked for money to develop the game, and in return offered a share of its sales around the world. We follow the further development of events, and there's not a whole lot I can do. So, let's fund the development of the game about our party. Recently, an amazingly simple game has spread across the internet that has already fascinated the mind of thousands of players across the country. The task is simple. The main character, very similar to the leader of the SRP, armed with a huge hammer, smashes to pieces the enemies of the Republic, corrupt officials, thieves, and bureaucrats. It is incredible. It is incredible how. However, a seemingly unpretentious toy caused an unprecedented hype in the internet environment. Users compete who is able to score more points and reach the end of all levels. Unused political agitation of the SRP really worked, which even its opponent admitted. Okay, and Jesus, the middle class supports at 95%. So, okay, which basically puts us in a very strong position for the next election. And every single other group is screwed pretty much. So yeah, they're pretty much screwed. Most of these probably won't even be in parliament anymore. I think the only ones that'll probably be in parliament is maybe the conservatives, but I think everybody else is pretty much done for. Yeah, it'll probably just be me and the conservatives, and that's it. So we'll have the lion's share of the seats, but let's try and tighten that up just a little bit more, because if I can bump them underneath that 10% threshold, then that screws them further, and then they won't be able to get in power. Don't know if I'll be able to, but you know, a man can dream. Let's see. Factions, research. Okay, let's come over to smartphones. Okay, let's do the diplomacy and go ahead and get that out the way. Okay, that should be enough. And the research is done. Okay. What is this? Madam Chairwoman, we received information about reserved former Soviet enterprises that were engaged in the development of information technologies close to our current needs. If we combine Soviet developments and our existing achievements in the field of IT, then we will be able to occupy a niche in the production of smart cell phones. I'm sure that these scanty costs will definitely pay off. What do you think? Okay. I can sell the technology to the West, or I can sell it to Russia. If I had the Ministry of Communications, I can pull off something different. I'm working with the United States, so I'll sell it to the West. Madam Chairwoman, what the hell are Americans? Why are you selling our technology for a song to these damn Yankees? Maybe you are also ready to sell your homeland. Today, the Republic and the United States signed an agreement under which the Republic sells former Soviet developments in the high-tech sector for cash grants to the manufacturing region of the Republic. The deal has been completed successfully. Okay. All right, so there's that, and we have completed every single technology. So now I'm just going to go ahead and wait until the next election. So I will see you in a second. All right, we're at the next parliamentary elections, and here we are. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, let's grow the welfare of the country. So, yep, growing the welfare. We won every single region once again. The Blue Guard got 0% of the vote. The Conservatives got 34%. Let me see. The Liberal Republican Party got 0%. Everybody else got 0%, so they're not in parliament. So it's just me and the Conservatives, and everyone else is gone. Nobody else is seated. And that means I get all the departments as well. So maybe I should have waited until after the election so I can turn around and actually I can actually get some of these different departments. But oh well, it's fine. So I'm gonna go ahead and save this because I want to try something first before I stop the video, which is I want to deal with this this little fucker down here, this little extra region. So let's just go ahead and say this save right here. We'll call that the extra region run. Okay, so now that I have that saved, okay, so what can we do here? Why do I get 568 first? I'm kind of offended. Which department are you gonna get? Of course, they're gonna get internal affairs. Wait, how did they end up getting more than me? Okay. Get defense. I'm guessing social development is actually the Ministry of Information. Let's do Ministry of Industry. Okay. Ministry of Transport. I'll get Ministry of Economics, because I need that for the whatchamacallit, dealing with that extra region. Next, I'll get Foreign Affairs. I'm just going to go ahead and get as many of them as I possibly can so I can see what I can do as far as that extra region down there. Sure. Foreign investment. Business. Okay. It leaves me with 3,000. Okay. Go ahead and fund that in full. They didn't fund internal affairs full. That's interesting. Yeah, 400, 400, 400, and then these are 2. Okay, so actually everybody's already funded completely. So what to do? I guess I will go ahead and bump this up 200. And I'll do the economics 200 as well, because I don't know how that's going to affect when we actually deal with the other region down there. We'll do 100 there, and we'll do 77 right there, I guess. So every department is funded, so there's that. Okay. All right, so then let's go ahead and try and deal with this extra region, shall we? Let's try and do a referendum. Okay. All right, so we can offer a referendum and do not interfere. We can offer and make every effort to falsify the results. Again, we have 101 support, so I would assume that it's fine, possibly. Okay, today the government of the Republic invited the PDR leaders to hold joint negotiations on holding a referendum on the return of the region to the country on the basis of independent autonomy. The leadership of the PDR accepted our proposal and announced the preparation of a popular plebiscite, which will decide the fate of the warlike but proud republic. According to the result of fair and democratic elections, 91% of the PDR citizens supported the return to republic. This is our great victory. The motherland is won again. Okay, soon, very soon, our newly formed weapon factory should reveal to the world and the State Commission the fruits of their design research, for which a large-scale exhibition has already been announced. Thousands of people are invited. Foreign reporters are already arriving in the country. Opinions on what to expect from it differ. Optimists and simply patriotic citizens are confident in the effectiveness of the work of the domestic producer, while pessimists argue that the time allotted to them was too short, and in any case, one should hardly expect much. What kind of pistols and rifles will soon be used by our police and soldiers? We will find out on the opening day of the exhibition. Your advisors warn you with alarm that some companies receive loans for the purpose of fraud and subsequent deliberate bankruptcy, and suggest that you use all of your influence to postpone the exhibition. Okay, I'm not gonna do that, but let me see. Yeah, everything is fine. Let's hold the exhibition. The exhibition turned into a disappointment. The Bar Arms firm, which had the highest hopes, was able to present only slightly modernized models of Soviet small arms, which differed moreover in poor quality and very slurred plans for their future release. The products of other participants deserve even less attention. The Minister of Defense said in front of the cameras of journalists that he did not expect anything worthwhile from this exhibition, after which he definitely left it. Voices are heard louder that budget money allocated for loans to manufacturer was wasted, and some see it as your personal interest. The construction of the first Republican Cosmodrome was recently completed. Now the Republic is included in the list of 10 countries that own space stations. However, after the grand opening, the leader of the Republic did not say anything about the future fate of the Cosmodrome. It isn't yet clear when it will begin its work, what programs will be developed, and most importantly, with what funds and by whose hands all this will be created. Because after the collapse of the Soviet Union, all key technical personnel have dispersed throughout the world. Ooh, we can do a Mars rover. Interesting. Okay, we have bad relations with Russia, so we can't do anything with them. We can allocate funds for the development of space tourism, or we can agree on joint development of the rover with the United States. I'm going to fund the dispatch of the Mars rover, actually. So yeah. Republic can into space. The leader of the Republic issued a decree on the launch of a space program for a period of 2 years. It is planned to recreate the Soviet Mars rover project and send a new research unit to the surface of the red planet. Okay, so we got that. Also, we have a ton of support throughout the entire country, and I'm guessing that's because, yeah, we got this region back. So yeah, we've unified the country. We've basically taken all the power. We've unified the government underneath us. We've unified basically everything. So now we just have to make it to the end of the game, which is 2004. So, and we'll deal with that in the next video. So if you like the video, If you want to see more content like this, subscribe. I have plenty of stuff on my channel, and I'll have plenty of stuff in the future. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, leave it down in the comment section. Again, I will respond whenever I can, and I do see all the comments, so it's no big deal. Also, I do apologize for what may seem like complaining and stuff like that, but you have those moments of frustration, and that's just kind of how it is. But yeah, I'm still really liking this game, and I'll give my final thoughts at the end, but just right off the bat, and I've also already reviewed the game, but I really do like the game, and I do see a lot of potential in it. Now, whether it'll live up to that potential, I don't know. But for right now, I think it's a really good game. I would definitely recommend anybody, play this game. It's easily probably my third favorite Kremlin Games game right now. China Miles Legacy was my first Kremlin Games game so far, and it's still my favorite, and I played Crisis in the Kremlin too. I do like the potential that's there, but it's so much to manage and everything else. It's kind of hard to wrap its head around it. But this game, I really do like it. But for right now, still, China Miles Legacy, that's going to be my favorite game so far. But this does have the potential to easily be my top game as far as Kremlin games go. And it's still, even on its own, it's one of the best. It's one of the best political games that I've played. So I'm really enjoying this. But yeah, we'll head to the conclusion in the next video. So thank you for watching. See you in the next one.